And a very good evening to you from wherever you're watching, Australia, New Zealand, or around the world. My name is Landon Blackwell. I'm the Tournament Director for Deaf Poker Australia. It is my honour and privilege to bring you the Final Four of the 2018 Australian Deaf Poker Championship, the DPA X Main Event, aka the 2018 International Deaf Poker Federation World Championship. The blinds currently at 40,000, 80,000 with a 10,000 chip ante with 13 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in this level. I'll take this opportunity now to introduce you to our Final Four players. In seat number 1, formerly of Sydney, now residing in Melbourne, Australia, currently on 430,000 in chips, a member of the DPA Players Advisory Committee, graphic designer extraordinaire, Alicia Warmold, ladies and gentlemen. Now, in seat number 2, he's final tabled this Australian Championship event, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the 5th time he's done so. A carpenter by trade from Sydney, Australia, and 6-time DPA Online Series champion, Matthew Heyman, starting this Final Four broadcast as the short stack with 195,000. Next to him in seat number 3, I'm not quite sure who it is. He's got his sunglasses on. No, a local boy and an absolute legend of the game, who was part of the Victorian State of Origin team that emerged victorious at Adelaide in 2016. Give it up for Rito Spidea. He'll start this final table with 340,000 in chips. And finally, our chip leader, also from Sydney, Australia, one of the most decorated players in Australian deaf poker history, holding 1.89 million in chips and on the verge of creating poker history as becoming the first father-son duo to win the same major championship title. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Daryl Jordan. Benjamin, when you're ready, my friend, cards in the air, away we go. So we have audio commentary from yours truly. In the background, our deaf MC, Gavin Rosemundy. He's a little cut off at the moment, but we'll try and get him in shot as soon as we can. So, we begin this broadcast of the DPA X Main Event, the special 10th anniversary edition of the Australian Deaf Poker Championship, brought to you by Crown Melbourne in proud partnership with Deaf Poker Australia and the International Deaf Poker Federation. So we started this tournament with 114 players, the second highest field in Australian deaf poker history. The top 15 players being paid, and of course, as you can see, down to our final four. 4th place will receive $2,050, 3rd place $2,620, 2nd place $3,990, and first $5,930. Alicia just taking a walk in the big blind there. So what started 10 years ago as a $25 buy-in tournament at Club Burwood in Sydney has now transformed into one of the most successful and arguably one of the most popular deaf sporting or cultural events in this country.
200,000.
Daryl Jordan was raised, making it 200,000 to go. Alicia Folds. Action now to Matthew Heyman in the small blind. Cool. So we're going to be going heads up to our first flop of this live stream.
All in.
Oh no, in fact, no, it was all in and call. My apologies.
Call. All in.
It's called all in fact. So we are about to go to showdown here. Matthew Heyman is the all-in player, holding 5-6. Daryl Jordan making a call there with Ace-Jack. Let's see the flop. Flop is Ace-5-7. So both players have paired up here. But Daryl Jordan well ahead there with a pair of aces. Turn card. Turn card is an 8. Opens up the straight draw there for Matthew Heyman. Still at risk though. Needs to hit here on the river, otherwise he'll be our 4th place finisher. Here's the river. And it's a queen. Matthew Heyman holds the record for the most final tables ever in this event. Eliminated in 4th place. Just a touch over $2,000 for a hard day's work. Incredible stuff there, ladies and gents. And now we're down to 3, just like that. So for those of you viewing Deaf Poker for the first time here on this live stream, of course, the key difference here in this tournament compared to others you may have seen is that all players are permitted to use sign language at the tables. And in this case here in Australia, our native sign language is Auslan. We've also had to put our international and American Sign Language skills to the test here this year. We had the privilege of being joined by 3 VIP international Deaf Poker superstars. Anthony Lobu of the United States, Eric Bonds, also of the United States, and Yoeli Munoz, all the way from Switzerland. All had pretty good runs today, but unfortunately wasn't to be. No in the money results there, but the fact that they've travelled thousands of miles to be here with us for our special 10th anniversary celebration is absolutely incredible. And the feedback that we've received from those players has been so wonderful. And we do hope to see you all again with many more of your friends at one of our events in the future. Thank you so much from all of us here in Australia A special kia ora to all our friends from across the ditch.
40,000 call.
Of course, Team Auckland, if you were watching last night's live stream of the State of Origin event, becoming the first international team to steal the State of Origin shield, lovingly known as Betsy. Congratulations to Team Auckland on their historic victory, their first major victory here on Aussie soil. And special mention should also go out to Caleb Thorne, who departed this final table just before the official live stream commenced. But would you believe it, that was his fourth consecutive final table in this Australian Championship. Unbelievable. Just a phenomenal achievement, and undoubtedly the most successful player on Australian soil, and arguably the #1 player from the land of the long white cloud. So the action, slow and steady here at the moment, as you could expect. When you're playing for a World Championship title, this is pretty much the norm. And speaking of slow and steady, we actually did have another record broken for the number of hands on the bubble. Now, for those unfamiliar with poker, we do get to the situation where you have one player or one elimination away from reaching the money. They go into hand-for-hand play, so all the tables will start and stop at the same time. From memory, hand-for-hand play has never lasted any more than 3 or 4 hands in Australian Championships past, but this year it took 12 hands. It was almost about 45 minutes of play hand-for-hand before we finally burst that bubble. Back to the action though, we're about to see our second flop for this live broadcast. It's between Alicia Warmold and Reno Spadea to a flop of Queen 10 Deuce. Alicia will be first to act. She checks, and Reno Spadea has moved all in.
By how much?
Alicia's asked for a count there. Dealer's just cutting there.
140,000.
Up for 540,000. 140.
140.
We have well and truly gone past the midnight mark here in Australia. Thank you for your patience and for staying with us. And I do apologise if in advance if I do get my commentary a little bit muddled up here. It's been a very long day, as I'm sure you could imagine. We started today, well, in fact, it'll be 12 hours and 3 minutes ago. And that was after a 10-hour day yesterday. So we're three-handed at this final table. Lines still 40,000, 80,000 with a 10,000 chip ante. Average stack 950k. The estimated chip counts here, Alicia Warmold
80,000 a call.
is on about 400,000 in change. Reno Spadea looking strong, about 280. And Daryl Jordan is the overwhelming chip leader here. He is in excess of 2.1 million.
Raise 200,000.
And action from the button, Alicia Warmold makes it 200,000 to go. Daryl will quickly fold there. So Alicia's going to pick up that pot there. Special mention once again, our heartfelt thanks to Joel Williams and the incredible team here at Crown Melbourne for supporting the Australian Deaf Poker Championship once again. This isn't their first time at the big dance. They hosted it here back in 2015. It was won then by Melbourne's own Kari Sue, who earned himself a seat into the World Championship of Deaf Poker, the inaugural World Championship that was held in Las Vegas back in 2016. So a unique feature of the World Championship of Deaf Poker is that it's held every 2 years, and the host city selected by a group of international Deaf Poker leagues as part of the International Deaf Poker Federation. And we are pleased to inform our friends in the United Kingdom that the 2020 World Championship of Deaf Poker is heading your way. So in 2 years' time, we're going to be playing in the UK. So we're probably going to have the biggest field ever in Deaf Poker history worldwide.
Line's going up next hand.
Next hand, yeah, 51 with the 10.
So just clarifying with the players there, it will actually be 50,000, 100,000 lines next hand. But just getting back quickly, the UK coming your way in 2020 for the World Championship of Deaf Poker. See you then. Cheerio. But no, please, don't go away. We've still got more poker action to come. So we're now heads up between Rena Spadea and Alicia Wilmore to a flop of Jack 4 Deuce. Alicia leads out for a bet here. Looks like about 90,000. It is 90,000.
90.
90's fine. 90's fine, I'll leave it at that.
Action back to Rena Spadea. He lets his hand go. 6-4. 6-4 for Alicia Wormold.
Lines are up.
That's there's a long-running joke there for the Melbourne Kings. We might have to get a little bit more of an explanation of that later for our viewers at home. So blinds have gone up 50,000, 100,000, 10,000 chip ante. For those of you who just joined us, we are three-handed at the World Championship of Deaf Poker 2018 as part of the DPA X series, our special 10th anniversary edition of the Australian Deaf Poker Championship. So, with that said, the winner of tonight's event will be the undisputed champion of the world and the champion of our great nation. All in here from Reno Spadea. No takers. Just picks up the blind. So we've started this DPA X main event with 114 players, the second highest field by participation in history of Australian Deaf Poker, and we have had a card just accidentally fly off the table here. So that will be the first burn. We'll replace that card there for Alicia. But the action will continue here. Rena Spadea first to go. Holds. Now over to Daryl Jordan.
Auction.
Calls. Alicia with the option. Checks. Here we go to the flop. Flop is Ace, Jack, 4. Daryl's checked his option. Action now to Alicia. She also checks. Turn card, 8 of Hearts. Daryl's checked. 150,000. Daryl lets it go. So Alicia picks up that pot there. Next player to be eliminated will receive $2,620 in prize money. The runner-up, $3,990, and in first place, $5,930 in cold hard cash. And not only will they walk away with that coveted world title, but thanks to our friends here at Crown Melbourne and the support of the Coleman Foundation, tonight's winner will receive the added value worth $1,150, a seat into the 2019 Aussie Millions opening event, one of the most popular side events anywhere in the world, fiercely contested and guaranteed $1 million prize pool. That is simply amazing. So action continues here at this final table. We are now with Reno Spadea on the small blind. And that'll be a walk for Daryl Jordan. In just over 1 hour and 15 minutes time, our friends on the east coast of Australia will need to change their clocks, move them an hour forward as we officially commence daylight savings. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Deaf Poker Australia. And from the button here, Reno Spadea has just moved all in. Daryl Jordan folds his option there on the small blind.
65,000. 265. No, sorry, 290. 290. Sorry, 290. 290. Correct.
So just seeking clarification here, it's 290,000 total. The all-in bet there from Reno. So it'll be another 190,000 here for Alicia to make a call. So she'll lay it down. Reno picks up that pot there. So our 114 players who started today's main events each started with 25,000 in chips. Each line level is 25 minutes long. We will play down to one winner tonight, however long that may take remains to be seen. But we are playing for what is the biggest prize pool in Australian death poker history. Action continues here.
It's 200,000.
Min raise there from Alicia Wormald, making it a total of 200,000 to go. Bruno on the big lines. Bolts. So that'll be Alicia's spot there. Grind on the mind, ladies and gentlemen. Grind on the mind. And as we're 15 minutes away from 1 o'clock in the morning here, down under. Once again, a very special hello to everyone around the world watching this broadcast. We thank you so much for joining us. Of course, I did say hello, didn't I? I should actually be greeting you in the traditional Aussie vernacular. How you going, mate? Walk in the big blind there for Daryl Jordan. Daryl Jordan, son of the Australian champion from last year, Zizamos Jordan. He himself, one of the most decorated players in Australian deaf poker, having won the New South Wales Championship title twice. And he's still our chip leader on close to 1.8 million. But as we've just seen here, Reno Spadea has just moved all in, the last of his chips there. He's all in for 290,000. Will let his hand go.
190,000 to call.
Back to Alicia now, 190,000 more for her to make the call. And she lets her hand go there, so that will be Reno picking up that pot. To our deaf friends who are watching this broadcast, we do apologise. We do have our deaf interpreter in the background there, our deaf MC, Gavin Rosemundy, the incredible talent who was our deaf MC last year, and he's come back to have another go this year, and he's doing a fantastic job as always. Once we do get to heads up play, we will get him to sit down just at the back there so you can actually see his hands. So we'll have him sit down very shortly once we do have another player limited. So once again, my sincere apologies. It's just because of the positioning of the camera, we just can't quite get him in there at the moment. So again, once we get to heads up play, we'll get the two players there just to move around a little bit. He'll sit down further back. So, back to the action here. Alicia Wormald, the first player to act in this hand. Let's it go. Reno now.
50,000 to call.
Let's see his hand go. So it's another walk there to Daryl Jordan. So just for all our friends around the world there, wherever you may be, we will give you official results from our previous players who have cashed tonight, but we can't do that just yet because once again, Reno Spadea has moved all in. Looks like it's
480,000.
480,000. Daryl Golden has folded his option there, so we go now to Alicia Warner on the big line. Big reaction from the crowd here. This is huge. Here we get, we just turn to their hands here. Ace 10. Ace 10 for Reno Spadea. But Alicia Warmold is ahead here with the Ace Queen. Let's see that flop. Ace in the window there. 8 and a 6 to complete the flop. So Alicia ahead with the Queen kicker. Turn card is a deuce. So 10 and a 10 only. The river's a tray. That is Reno Spadea out in third place. It's another final table here in this championship event. Another phenomenal effort. Just a smidge over 2K for his payday. And that means we are now officially heads up for the title between Alicia Warmold and Daryl Jordan. Yeah, 5 minutes. So ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be taking a 5-minute break. So we will return for heads up play very shortly. So please stay with us and we'll be back as soon as we can. Just explain that the players are on break in 5 minutes.
Can you please confirm that there should be a dealer change? There should be a dealer change for starting at
1 o'clock?
So if they want to get the next dealer on before it happens.
Hey, if you want to do some commentary, Auslan commentary while we have the break, just jump on, do some commentary about all the action today at Auslan. Okay, so the guys are going to come on and they're going to sign. They're just going to do like some commentary in sign language.
Just grab an AM.
Yep. Shane, while we're on break, I'm just going to get a couple of our SPG guys just to come on and do some commentary in sign language. So they'll just be sitting back at the table.
I think we're about to change the dealer. I'm happy to stay, but I think it's going to I'm due. So with the camera, the final two, the small blind, little blind,
Small blind goes with the button. and you deal with the big one first.
Get away from the button.
Yeah. Button will act first.
Just
First time round, then it goes back to normal. So pre-flop, because your small blind hits the button, he acts first. And then after the flop, yeah, it goes to normal. The one thing you really get to have is just having
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Come back in
I'll buy some of these yellows up anyway.
Just get some counts and the heads up chips as well.
Counts? Yeah.
I
I'm just going to buy
need to have
some
a
of these
break
ones as well. Yeah, I'll get it all sorted. $1,090,000. Yeah, that's right.
You know how many there is?
1,090,000.
1,090,000.
No. 1,090,000.
Oh, 1.09.
Good luck.
What do I need to know?
Right. So the button is there.
1.765.
1.7 final two.
Yeah, 1.765.
So we won't.
So 1.1.
1.9. I don't know. So
You put your feet down. And a bit. You might hit your head up quite sure.
yeah, I
No, it's me because it's different. Just being deaf players.
oh, you have okay. So You'll have checkers normal, grays, small blind, big blind. Basically, they're quite verbal.
Okay.
Like, it's not too difficult. And you'll have a guy sitting here commentating the whole thing.
Okay.
And he'll be able to just interpret everything. He's sitting here going off this, and he's going, they bet this, the flop's that. When you deal the flop, because of the camera, it has to be about an inch above here.
Yeah.
So this camera.
Are you going to be comfortable doing this?
Yeah. That's what I'm just asking about.
Yeah, so see, it'll be the whole screen, but it'll go up to there, and you want it flipped up right there. Yeah, so it's about an inch in. And then they'll get you to put the cards right up there so they can see them, and he'll announce them, and then you deal the flop. And then you wait for his announcement, and then you deal the turn. Wait.
No ante.
So it's
61.20.
51
Oh,
for the
51?
next 8 minutes. Good luck. Thank you.
Why we pause? Why we pause?
Toilet break.
Yeah. 1 minute. 1 minute. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll get him to go back. What counts? It counts? Counts? Yeah.
1.1 and 1.8.
1.1, 1.8. Okay. Can we bring the main event trophy out, please? Trophy? Trophy? Trophy. Thank you very much for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to recommence the heads-up battle or commence the heads-up battle, I should say, for the trophy that's just been placed there on screen. That is the main event trophy for the world champion. Who's it going to be? Alicia Wormold or Daryl Jordan? An incredible story, ladies and gentlemen. Alicia Wormold on the verge of becoming the 4th female Australian champion and the first female world champion of Deaf Poker. But on the other side, Daryl Jordan, 2-time New South Wales champion and father of last year's Australian champion, Zizamos Jordan. Could be the first father-son duo to win any major poker tournament of the same kind in Australian history, if not the world. A family dynasty that has not been seen since Joe Hashem and his brother Tony dominated the scene in the early 2000s, when Joe won the 2005 World Series and his brother Tony became the 2-time ANZPT Player of the Year. What a story, ladies and gents. But without any further ado, let's get this show in a row. We'll ask the players to come back in. And Gavin Rosemundy, our deaf MC extraordinaire, will take a back seat and provide you with the Auslan commentary for this heads-up battle. We're almost ready to go. Button will be on Daryl Jordan to start. Chip counts. It's approximately 1.1 million for Alicia, and Daryl with around about 1.8 million. So chip counts fairly even here. Alicia Wormold, Daryl Jordan, DPA X Main Event, final table, heads up. Away we go. Just waiting for the clock to restart here. 8 minutes and 21 seconds left in this blind level.
Yeah, good to go.
No antes now in heads up play, just the blinds. Just waiting for that clock to restart. Yep, there we go. We're away. Best of luck to both players here. Daryl calls. Alicia, the option on the big blind. Moves all in. Daryl quickly folds. Alicia will pick up this pot. Unbelievable story unfolding here. The father of last year's Australian champion on the verge himself of becoming the new champion and in turn the world champion of deaf poker. And Alicia Wormold, 2-time ladies champion in New South Wales. And the graphic designer responsible for the amazing artwork that you see behind you. One of the best young players in this country, and could be the 4th female champion of this event in our 10 years that DPA has been going.
It was because the people in the audience live tonight couldn't see. You're never going to please anyone.
Yeah, just so it's a bit of a tussle between trying to get all the live audience members watching with the sign language and the people at home. So it is a little tricky with the broadcast, but of course everyone here can also follow along on our Facebook page right now, and you can find out more about Deaf Poker Australia on our official website, deafpoker.com.au. We're also on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube. So Alicia now, first act. Alicia raises to 200,000. Daryl moves all in. Back to Alicia now. She folds. So Daryl picks up that one. Shows pocket nines. Jordan has just moved all in here. Alicia's let her hand go. Daryl again with that fight.
Landon, Nick has just said when you zoom, it loses focus on everyone on their Gavin and the sides of the players.
Yeah.
So try not to zoom too much.
Yeah. Interesting comments coming through there on our Facebook feed. Bit of a debate as to whether or not we should have the deaf interpreter in the background, or we should not be using anglers, using the anglers, but we keep going. We want to make sure that we have the clearest picture we can for our viewers at home. Continue on. Turn calls. Option. Alicia checks the big blind. And we'll see a flop. Thing is King Jack 5 on the flop. Alicia. Checks. Daryl checks. Turn card. Turn cards are 9. Back to Alicia. Alicia reaching for chips. She's made it 130,000 to go. And Daryl Jordan has made the call there. The river. Deuce. Alicia bets 200,000. Back now to Daryl Jordan. Folds, so Alicia picks up that pot there. And the blinds have now just gone up to 60,000, 120,000.
120. Yep.
Gavin Rosemundy, Deaf MC extraordinaire, doing an amazing job. He debuted with his deaf commentary last year in the Australian Championship. And back again this year. Was champion in his own right. He was part of the original All-Stars team that won the first State of Origin clash back in Perth 2014, and also part of the Northern Rivers State of Origin champion team last year in Tweed Heads. And he was also runner-up, of course, in the 2013 Australian Championship. And has always been an avid supporter of deaf poker. Very talented man. And he actually appeared recently in an episode of Sally and Possum on Australia's ABC Kids network. Sally and Possum, the extremely popular Auslan children's show. So we have a limp pot pre-flop. As heads up action continues in the DPA X Main Event, we go to a flop here of King 8-5. Alicia checks, that's to Daryl. Second card is 8 diamonds.
130,000.
Bet of 130,000. Daryl lets his hand go, so Alicia will pick up that pot there. So chip count's still pretty even here at the moment. Biding our time. Of course, we are playing for big money here. The runner-up will walk away with just a touch under $4,000 and almost $6,000 to the winner. raised to 320,000. Daryl, and no, he's not having a bar of it. Another fold there. So Alicia picking up a few pots there. So our live stream here of this DPA X Main Event, proudly brought to you by Crown Melbourne, using an incredible piece of technology called Mevo. It's a single camera unit that sits overhead there at the dealer position, and through the control of an iPad we can give you multiple camera angles like this, and this, and this, and this. Just the touch of the tablet there.
Landon, one of the audience members has asked how much they are. One of the audience members asked how much an Evo was.
Well, we've had a question from one of our team members in the audience. Has asked how much the camera is worth. You can pick the basic Mevo model up for about $600. The Mevo Plus, which allows you to shoot in even higher definition, will set you back about double the price. But this particular Mevo camera was generously donated by our friends at the WPT League, who helped to broadcast the final table of last year's championship, of course, won by Zizamos Jordan, the son of Daryl Jordan, who is now on the button in this latest heads-up play. So that's a walk there for Alicia in the big blind. Chipping away, chipping away. Rest assured, ladies and gents, these players have come to play. Grind on the mind. So, as we do continue the grind, we can take a recap quickly for our viewers at home. The history of Deaf Poker Australia. It all began in 2008, and a man by the name of Sokong Kim, who actually finished fourth in this championship tournament last year, and is also a former Queensland champion himself. He got together with a few of his friends after a few home games and decided to develop and grow the game amongst the Australian deaf community. So the first Australian Championship, which was a $25 buy-in tournament at Club Burwood in Sydney, yielded 88 players. The winner then was Ash Thornton. Back to the action here. Flop of Ace King tray with two hearts. Goes check bet fold. It was then in 2010 that the tournament came down to Melbourne. And that was hosted at the local hotel in Port Melbourne. 74 players that year, and the winner was Daniel Barchi. And in fact, Sokong Kim was runner-up that year as well. Then in 2011, that was when the evolution of deaf poker really took off there. So the buy-in was increased to $100 and was hosted by our friends at the Adelaide Casino. And that year it was Stacey Riley becoming the first female deaf poker champion of Australia on home soil. before we headed up to the Treasury Casino in Brisbane in 2012. And that year it was won by the late, great Con the Warrior Eglazos, who sadly passed away at the end of last year after a long battle with illness. We do hope that his crushing soul's up in the sky. Rest in peace, old friend. We miss you. And we should mention, of course, we did take a moment's silence to remember Con's legacy in this game. An incredible person, a true gentleman both on and off the field.
We also mentioned Dennis from Queensland. We mentioned Dennis from Queensland, who passed away a week after Con as well. Dennis Crisp, a Queensland poker player, passed away a week after Con.
And we should make mention as well as all those who could not be here with us, all wonderful supporters of the game, Paul Varley and Dennis Crisp.
Dennis was involved in the first original poker game.
And Dennis was in fact part of the very first death poker game ever held in Queensland. And Paul Varley, a long time DPA veteran. All of you still within our hearts and minds here today. So raise here from Daryl Jordan has actually turned his heads up to 240,000. Back to Alicia Wilmot there. She makes the call. So, to the flop we go. There's King 5-6 with 2 hearts. Alicia checks. Action now with Daryl Jordan. He checks turn card. There's a tray. Alicia leading out for what looks to be 240,000, 250. And Daryl says, no thanks, you can have that one. So then in 2013, we moved to Sydney, to the Star Casino there. And good news for our friends in Sydney, you still do hold the all-time record for the number of entries in this tournament. 118 to be precise. And incredibly, after having finished runner-up on debut in 2012, Michelle Rowland of Melbourne came back to win it all. And up until today, for an incredible 5 years, held the #1 position on the DPA all-time money list. Then in 2014, we moved to Crown Perth, out west for the very first time, joining our friends in the Western Deaf Poker League, who in that time established the WA Deaf Poker Invitational, the only deaf tournament to be ever held in a casino in Australia since its establishment, its inception. Of course, our sister property will be hosting the DPA Championship next year, 2019. clock here of 26.7. Alicia reaching for chips here. Leads out for 180,000. Daryl Jordan, 180,000 to go. Makes the call. Turn card now is the Deuce of Diamonds. Alicia first to act. And this time makes a bet there of 230,000. Daryl Jordan now. Call. So River now, the tray of clubs, Alicia with the option. Big boy. $410,000. Back to Daryl. Pressure is on. Big pot brewing here, biggest pot of the night so far. It's 410,000 to make the call. We're leaving with just a touch over 300,000 behind. He folds.
Oh! Crow!
And Alicia with the infamous 6-4. Melbourne Kings' favourite hand. A powerhouse play with a trademark hand. And Alicia now holds the dominant chip lead over Daryl Jordan. What a turn of events. Seven and a half minutes left in this blind lure. Blind's currently 60,000, 120,000. Action and heads up here will continue. Alicia will just lay down. Oh. Alicia just saying that is the last time she's going to be playing 6-4. We've just had one of our Facebook commenters trying to ask Alicia out on a date. I'm sorry to say she's taken.
Sorry, taken.
We'll leave that one alone.
I think that, you know, the
Yes. Hot.
Even in a world championship event, ladies and gentlemen, we love to have a little fun here. It's the death way. It's all serious business on the fell and a great time off it. Daryl and Alicia, firm friends. So many people here tonight. Hundreds of deaf members of the community coming through this afternoon. The rail's still at least 4 deep here behind us. Hundreds of people watching at the moment live on our Facebook stream. Please, if you haven't already done so, like and share us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube for all the content from today's tournament. We've been updating throughout the day, so you'll be able to retrace all the big moments from the big games.
What?
So the action's still continuing here. So, do apologise. So we just had to quickly plug the iPad back in there. We were running low on charge. Currently the board reading King 874. Alicia the first to act here, and she leads out. And Daryl is quickly followed. So. So we continue the heads-up battle here for the DPA X Main Event title, the World Championship of Deaf Poker 2018. Alicia Warmold with a more than 2-1 chip lead over two-time New South Wales champion Daryl Jordan's father of the former Australian champion Zizamos Jordan, who won it in 2016. And we are officially 22 minutes away before we officially commence daylight savings time here in the state of Victoria. So again, a friendly reminder to all of those listening and watching to please wind your clocks forward. In Victoria, New South Wales, 1 hour. When it hits 2 a.m, it'll become 3 a.m. Two minutes remaining in this blind level. Price of poker will be going up to 80,000, 160,000 with a 20,000 chip ante. Safe to say this will be one of the longest heads-up battles in DPA history, but of course when you're playing for a world title, every decision is crucial. So for those of you who just joined us, again, welcome. You're watching the heads-up contest between Alicia Warmold of Victoria and Daryl Jordan of New South Wales. The World Championship of Deaf Poker guaranteed to stay on Aussie soil. And in the background there, our amazing deaf MC, Gavin Rosemundy, providing the commentary in Auslan, the native sign language of Australia. We're just about to see the flop here. Flop comes down 7-6 tray, and Daryl Jordan has just moved all in. Alicia has asked for a count, so we're just getting the dealer to cut those chips down. So it's just over $500,000. $535,000 total for Alicia to call. Alicia Warmold cutting out the chips to call there as she ponders what to do. Takes a look over at Daryl there. Daryl barely moving a muscle. She calls. She's made the call. She has made the call. So, cards are being rolled up here. 4 deuce offsuit versus 5-4. Alicia Warmold has hit the straight. Alicia Warmold has hit the straight with 5-4. Daryl Jordan has a backdoor straight flush draw.
Cards are not on screen.
They're just waiting for the dealer to bring in the cards, so they are on screen for our audience members here at Crown Melbourne watching to see. Just adjust the angle here. Here we go, turn card. Turn card is the 8 of clubs. 8 of clubs. You needed a spade, but there is still one card to come. Is this the moment? Could Alicia Warmold be the world champion of deaf poker? Or will Daryl Jordan double up? Here we go. To the river. It's a deuce of diamonds. And that is it. That is it. Ladies and gentlemen, your new Australian champion and the deaf poker champion of the world, Alicia Warmold. She is simply stunned. She cannot believe it. Just taking a moment there to compose herself, but she fought and fought hard, and she is now on top of the world. The new champion of the world, Alicia Warmold, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone, so quick to come in and congratulate her. Have a look at this. Zizamos Jordan, last year's champion. A huge hug there for Alicia. Unbelievable scenes here. Look at this. She simply cannot believe it. And there is John Ziogas, longtime partner and poker coach. Both of them champion poker players, but Alicia Warmold, ladies and gentlemen, unbelievable performance. And kudos, huge kudos to Daryl Jordan. Just recounting the heads-up battle there, but a runner-up finish for the father after the son won last year. Unbelievable. Ewan Maggs there from South Australia embracing him. This is just an incredible story. Alicia Warmold has come through with victory here in the World Championship of Deaf Poker. Simply stunning in every sense of the word. We will be doing our formal presentations there very shortly. So stay with us, ladies and gents, as we will commence those very, very shortly. I'll just ask you to please reset so we can do the winner's photo. Unbelievable, ladies and gents. That is it from 114 players today. We are down to just one, and it is Alicia Warmold, the World Deaf Poker Champion of 2018, the Australian Champion of Deaf Poker in and she's just